Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and those who don't identify as such. Today I want to do something special and count down the top 10 best songs 1997, as that was the year I was born. For me, 1997 was a transitional year for music. Rock was fading a bit in favor of a more alternative sound. R&B was still dominant. Hip-hop was transitioning from gangsta and street rap into the shiny suits era. And more importantly, this was the early days of the teen pop sound that would dominate the rest of the millennium. To make this list, I'll be basing this off the 1997 year-end Billboard list and those who debuted on said list, which means that one Toni Braxton song will not be making this list. So without further ado, this is the top 10 best songs of 1997. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Number 10. To kick off this list, we have to start off with a song that involves infidelity. Somebody sleeping in my... No, I'm not highlighting the remix made by So So Def. I chose this one out of concept alone. In this song, Cisco believes that he's getting cheated on by his girl, by one of his friends, or even his own bandmates, yet Cisco doesn't know a thing about it. But the video provides a major plot twist. There was someone sleeping in his bed, but it was another woman, and this was a sensitive topic back in the day. All in all, this is one of my favorite in Dru Hill's catalog. Check it out if you haven't listened to it. Number 9. 1997 was a stellar year for Bad Boy, and even though this wasn't a Bad Boy hit, Puff had his fingerprints all over this one. Unlike the previous entry, I am highlighting the remix here because the Lots and especially Mace added more flavor to the song. As for Mariah, you could tell she's more confident in this song as this was her first release since divorcing Tommy Mottola. Then there's the production, and if you don't know anything from Bad Boy, is that they're heavily reliant on samples, as this one used Body Rock by the Treacherous 3 and Hey DJ by world famous Supreme Team. This song is one of Mariah's catchiest singles of all time and definitely one of my favorites from her. Number 8. Every now and again, I just want to Zigazigah. If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last. I know. This song originally came out in 1996, but since it had its breakthrough in America in 1997, I included it on this list. This song is heavily reliant on personality than the actual music merit, and that's okay, because this is a fun song. I can't even tell you what the song is about. Whether you like the Spice Girls or not, you can't deny that this song puts a smile on your face. A classic you can't ignore. Number 7. I want to say this right here. One of my favorite songwriters of all time is Diane Warren. During this era, I've seen people bash her songs calling them boring adult contemporary ballad songs. And for me, I actually find joy in these songs, and her presence may come up again on future lists. Anyway, this song comes from the Space Jam soundtrack from an artist I actually already covered on this channel. I will cross the ocean for you. I will go and bring... If you watch my video on Monica, I've made a reference to this song. This down-tempo R&B jam talks about overcoming any obstacle regardless on the magnitude. And while Monica had top 10 success prior to this song, this allowed her to get that mainstream crossover appeal heading into her follow-up album. So if you're watching Space Jam or listening to the soundtrack, give this song a revisit. Just don't revisit that other song. If you know, you know. Number 6. Did I mention 1997 was a great year for Bad Boy? Anyway, here's a taste from their R&B camp. If you don't know, 112 is a teenage R&B group from Atlanta and spent their previous year promoting Only You featuring the Notorious B.I.G. and Mace. But this was their breakthrough single, a slow burn ballad with a guitar loop where the guys are trying to assuage the fears of a doubtful lover and establish trust in their relationship. Yes, Slim was the weak link in this song, as his signature nasal babyface-esque lead. But that didn't matter because the group harmonies were A1, especially on the bridge. This is one of 112's biggest singles that year, but it was not their highest charter that year. We'll get to that one in a minute. Number 5. I had a tough time filling in for this spot. 5 was initially Unbreak My Heart by Toni Braxton until I found out it barely made the year-end list for 1996, making it ineligible. When I was pre-planning the 1998 list, I had this song number 1 until I found out it not only made the top 10 on that year-end list, it made the top 10 on this year's year-end list. So I had no choice but to include it, and it's another Diane Warren classic. No, I'm not highlighting the Trisha Yearwood version as I did not get the same feeling. Leanne's version should have won that Grammy in '98. For me, Leanne's version hits because for one, what 14-year-old could pull a song like this off? Besides maybe Monica. Also, the climax of the song. Yearwood's version opted for a saxophone solo while Leanne chose a guitar solo and that hits harder. And finally, Yearwood's version did not take any risks as Leanne's did. Age might have had something to do with that, but whatever, age ain't nothing but a number. Leanne Rhimes' version is the greatest song to never reach number 1 on the Hot 100, but it did have a 69-week run on the charts. That's nice. Number 4. Come on now, you know I wasn't going to leave New Edition off this list. I'm still the man for you, and I'm still... When I was writing this, I didn't know that the song was a heartbreak song as Ralph and Ricky croon over longing for their ex as they still have feelings for that ex. Ricky and Ralph, they have amazing vocal chemistry and you could feel the deep emotion each man brought to the table. Even if the Home Again era was a messy era for New Edition, this and Hit Me Off were signs of excellence for this group. Check this song out if you haven't heard it. Number 3. Now you know one of the greatest tribute songs of all time is going to make it on this list. Also, did I mention 1997 was a great year for Bad Boy? After Big passed away, Puff saw the Police on TV singing Every Breath You Take and felt like Big was speaking to him via the song. So he flipped the Police song to channel his unhealed grief. The song itself, self-explanatory. Puff and Big's widow, Faith Evans, missing Big, and knowing he has a life after death. 112 also joins in post-bridge to interpolate the song even further. The song is significant in hip-hop because it's the first of its kind to debut at number 1. Fantastic song, fantastic tribute, rest in peace to Biggie. Number 2. As I failed to mention with For You I Will, the 90s had some of the strongest soundtrack singles ever. I could make a list of those soundtrack singles right now if I choose, but with that being said, in 1996, Set It Off hit theaters, and that is one of my favorite movies of all time, and is also home to one of my favorite songs of all time. This song served as the comeback single for En Vogue, who's been away since What a Man in 1993. Many thought their run at the top was done until this song came in. Let me credit Organized Noise, Atlanta producers best known for their works with Outkast, as they use raw instrumentation with pianos, drums, and guitar. Dawn leads most of the song as she wants to be in a relationship and break the friend zone, but fear of going too fast, instead holding on tight, hence the title. Sadly for En Vogue, their career was never the same after this. I plan on highlighting this on a video for the group later on, but for them, this is their best song in their catalog and it's not even close for me. Before I unveil my top pick, let's go through a few honorable mentions. As I'm a sucker for ballads, I am also a sucker for straight a cappella songs, and this one was no different. Look into my eyes and tell me what it is you see. When talking about the greatest songs from Bone Thugs and Harmony, this one often gets overlooked. Playing games with my heart. This song is good, but far from their greatest. But you really wanna be the one I'm with, so relationship. You know, if it wasn't for Drew Hill's In My Bed, this would have made my list proper. And it seems to me
You lived your life like a candle.
A piano ballad that pays tribute to Princess Diana. May she rest in peace. Before we continue, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit the like button. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. And now, let's continue with the video. Number 1. But if Don't Let Go is one of your favorite songs of all time, why that wasn't number 1? Let me explain. The song I have number 1 on this list was the number 1 song the week I was born. And 26 years later, I can relate to this song more than most because the more money I make, the more problems I have. And let me mention one more time that Bad Boy had a terrific year in '97. Flipping the I'm Coming Out sample by Diana Ross, it talks about the disadvantages of becoming rich. Mace opens up the song talking about how he hasn't changed much since dropping the murder from his name. If you didn't know, Murder Mace was his original stage name. And his quote-unquote wealth. Puff in his verse, he flexes like he normally does. And then comes B.I.G. with clever wordplay how the FBI is after him for being a force in hip-hop, tapping his cell, and how he changed since he now has a Rolex and his flow is tighter than ever. And I can't ignore Kelly Price's impact on the song as she handles the chorus uncredited. This song is special for me. I have that connection with it. Definitely worth multiple listens, and with that being said, More Money, More Problems is the best song of 1997. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. What are your favorite songs that came out of that year? Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.